Well, hello, good morning and welcome to an episode of Camilla and I. I'm Mark Cooper, a Royal Photography Society wildlife photographer based here in the UK. And today we're not far from my hometown Salisbury. We're at a little village, Oddstock, where we hope to capture the blues and hopefully we get some of these beauties here. We're trying to capture the blues. We're coming up towards the end of June now and into July, so we may be a bit early for the Chalk Hill blue, but there should definitely be some Adonis blues around. Anyway, so it's this time of year we move on, the temperature rises. We're up to 30 degrees centigrade here in the UK. Whew, that's hot for us. And now we move on to the little quick flying insects, butterflies, dragonflies, etc. And anyway, here we are today. So if you want to come with us today, I'm going to explain what equipment we're using, how we're using it, and hopefully get some magnificent photos like these of some blues today on our particular chalk downland. We're very lucky in Wiltshire. We've got this unique habitat, this very barren chalk downland, which is very suitable to the scrub which these butterflies require. The Chalk Hill blue requires horseshoe vetch as its main source of plant food, and that's why we come to an area such as this. Well, the best laid plans of mice and men. Unbelievable this morning. Weather forecast for this morning was broken cloud, sun poking through from time to time. Anyway, absolute rubbish now. Dull as dishwater all day long. And not only that, I haven't been able to find any subjects for you. So what a disaster on Camilla and I. Well, it doesn't always go to plan, does it, wildlife photography? Anyway, I thought what I'll do is to show a few ways I photograph butterflies. Now I have found two marbled whites. One is very stationary and in a terrible condition, and I've got another one that is very flighty, but it seems to be okay at the moment. So always, first of all, whenever you're photographing a butterfly, always pick your subject, because to be honest, there's nothing worse than when you go home and you find you've got a lovely butterfly, but it's got a big chunk out of its wing. Ooh, annoying. And it really does affect the photo, unfortunately. So try to pick subjects which are in perfect condition would be my first tip. Otherwise, when you get home, you're going to be disappointed. Anyway, we've got this marbled white. It's down here. And I'll show you a couple of the ways. This is the flighty one. This is the flighty bugger, which we don't want to disturb. So I'm using the 70 to 200 with the Sony A1. And I've got the 2x converter on to give me that extra reach. So essentially I've got a 400 f5.6. Anyway, the marbled white is down there. So this is my first approach to this marbled white using this setup. So we just go all free, all handheld, and we rely on the stabilization in the lens. And we're going to set about 1/500th to 1,000th of a second of a shutter speed so that we don't get any movement. Hopefully we'll get a steady subject. Anyway, let's just see if we can get a shot without it flying off. My luck this morning it's going to fly off first attempt. Anyway, this is our first approach to the subject, and it's flown off. Oh, don't you love it? Anyway, we'll pretend it's still there. Right, so I go in on the subject very carefully. Spot, focus, spot metering. In on the subject. Stay very still. Tuck my arms in. Support the camera. Get in on the subject. Try and get in the same focal plane as the butterfly. So the camera and lens must be in the same focal plane. Take the shot. Single shot. I'm not on high continuous. I'm on continuous focus, but I'm on a low number of shots. So only 5 frames per second. And indeed, I'd take a number of photographs of the same subject, except it's flown off. Anyway, I think I've seen where it's flown, so I'll see if I can get it over here. So that's the first technique of getting in on the subject, just using straight the camera and the lens. Okay. Anyway, I failed miserably, but it flew over here. So, right, so the second technique we've got for you, we still haven't got the marble white, I haven't located it, but we'll pretend that we've still got a marble white to photograph, because it's so horrible here. It's getting a bit cold now as well. Terrible. There's a whole wind blowing as well. The wind speeds are supposed to be below 10 miles an hour, and I'd swear there's gusts of about 15 at least, 12 or 15. Anyway, enough of the woes of the wildlife photographer. Technique number 2 for getting in on our subject, which doesn't exist, but we're pretending it does, is the use of a monopod and this Suray L10, which is a clever little monopod, but all it does is pivot in such a way. And you have to twist manually to get the axis. So we've got this axis covered, but we twist on this axis. Anyway, all we do, again, is very similar to the last time, except we don't frighten it off because it's not there. We just go in quietly on our subject. Shh. Well, you can say what you like and shout, scream, whatever. It's a butterfly. Anyway, we'll presume this white flower down here is the butterfly. So again, I'll just get low, slow and steady. Everything's got to be slow and steady. And we go in on the subject and we take the subject. I think we have actually got a beetle on a flower this time, so 100% improvement on the last shot. And yeah, we maintain a good distance from our subject. I mean, we can get closer, we can shuffle up closer. Don't worry about the cleaning bill. Get in closer. We've actually got a bee on a flower, so the field is not totally dead. Whew. Anyway, yeah, that's technique number 2. Again, carefully withdraw from the scene. Try and avoid trampling down all the vegetation as well. So anyway, yeah, that's technique number 2. Right, and then I think I'll show you technique number 3, and I think we'll try and find that stationary one that's not moving for technique number 3, because this one involves Wimberley plamp, as they call it. Number 3 is not the Wimberley plamp. I was getting ahead of myself. Technique number 3 is very straightforward. It's the tripod and the Arca Swiss plate. Tripod and Arca Swiss plate. I mean, ideally, this gives you the best combination, and this is perfect for butterfly photography if you can set it up in the right position. But you are limited to your position. You have to get this into position in exactly where you want it. Again, you want the butterfly in the same focal plane as the sensor. So it's complicated often to get a tripod actually into position, and indeed into position quickly enough. we're currently working on a marbled white number 2, the static one, which I approached earlier and even touched the stem and it didn't fly off. So for purposes of this demonstration, hopefully we have the one and only stuffed marbled white, because we need one. Right. Yep, stuffed marbled white in position. So this is where we now deploy method number 4, which is the Wimberley clamp. At the moment, the marbled white is swaying just slightly in the breeze because it is, well, it just is. I mean, it's unbelievable. It's supposed to be 8 mile an hour maximum wind speeds this morning, but we're actually, it's ridiculous. I'll show you a picture of it. I'll take a bit of video of it swaying for you. Absolutely, it's making me seasick. Unbelievable. So yeah, always come out in conditions that are favourable for butterfly photography. Not today. Anyway, we're showing you the technique, so we're getting something out of this video. Right, so now we deploy the secret weapon of the insect and butterfly photographer. So here we have our perfect setup, except for one thing. The butterfly, for example, has roosted, or it's still got dew on its wings first thing in the morning. That's the normal time we approach a butterfly like this with the Wimberley clamp. Now the Wimberley clamp is quite a clever little device. Basically, you try and get the stem that your subject is on trapped in this clamp, like so. And the other end of the clamp, you've got this articulated arm. Ooh, squeak, squeak, squeak. I got the long version. I got the extra long reach version. And then you have a clamp at this end. And the clamp is either staked off with a penknife, if the ground is particularly hard. Oh, careful, don't cut yourself. So you've got the old Swiss Army knife. That goes in there, and that end goes into the ground, and then you remove the articulated arm into place. So yeah, quite a natty device. Anyway, so we've got the extended version. So currently I think Wex do the basic version with a spike now. They seem to provide a sort of like screwdriver spike, which I think is £64. So yeah, not cheap. The Wimberley clamp. And there's various accessories, various combinations you can get it in. As I've seen, they've upgraded since I purchased this one. Anyway, let's see if we can clamp off this this swaying butterfly for you and see if it works. So normally we do this when the butterfly's roosting, last thing at night, first thing in the morning. You've got the possibility to use the clamp. But this one seems particularly docile, but you still have to be very careful how you deploy. Even when they're roosting, you've still got to be very careful and very stealthy how you deploy the Wimberley clamp. I've done it. I think this one's got wise to us. Its wings are opening up now, and yeah, I can see the damage on its yeah, left-hand wing. Anyway, there's absolutely no chance of clamping this off now without that marbled white moving. Oh, both wings are damaged. God, it's really going well today. Anyway, the idea is, I think it's pretty pointless doing it on the actual stem now because it's almost certain to fly. As the wings are fully open now, it's warming up, ready for takeoff. So as soon as I clamp it off, it will be off. It will feel the lack of movement in the stem. Anyway, I think I'll do it a little bit before it because it is pretty pointless. Well, okay, we'll set it off. So here we are. We have the stake end of the Wimberley clamp. Make sure you don't close it on yourself. And you place that in the ground, near to your subject, near to the stem, And then very carefully you articulate the, so open the jaws of the clamp and your butterfly flies away. That does happen an awful lot actually, to be honest, even when it's roosting or first thing in the morning. And then you basically attach it to your stem that the butterfly's on, clamp the stem off, watch that the articulation of the other thing doesn't suddenly move the stem, and then just clamp it in position there like so. And now we'll go back to the fixed position of the camera, and obviously with that subject now static, is no longer swaying in the breeze, we can get a perfect shot and we can perfectly align ourselves so we're in the actual plane, focal plane of the subject. So yeah, anyway, what a dreadful demonstration of the Wimberley clamp, but I think you get the principle, and it is very hit and miss. But obviously when you get it right, you have then got a subject which is no longer swaying in the breeze, and that would give you a chance of a bracket focus shot where you could take multiple images to get the whole of the subject in perfect, crisp, sharp detail. But as we haven't got a subject and we failed miserably, yeah, at least I actually got a picture of that one. So. But yeah, it's not going well today, our butterfly photography. Yeah, sometimes it's like that on Camilla and I. Anyway, I think we'll leave it there because, yeah, I've done quite enough today, and I don't think it's going to get any better. So, fingers crossed. Next week we have a more sunny day, if nothing else, without the wind and this sort of like, yeah, complete swaying thing. So we won't be back doing butterflies until we have conditions below 10 miles an hour. That definitely ain't 10 miles an hour. Anyway, have a good one. Bye from Camilla and I out in the field. Ooh.